Welcome back to Golden Years Wisdom, a place where we explore the challenges and opportunities of the golden years with honesty, compassion, and practical guidance. Today we're talking about something many people experience but rarely discuss openly. It's not about health, finances, or retirement plans. It's about something much more personal. It's about friendships. If you've noticed that your social circle has become smaller over the years, you are not alone. Many seniors reach a point where the people they once saw every day slowly fade from their lives. The lunches stop, the casual conversations disappear, the phone calls become less frequent. And suddenly, without realizing how it happened, the vibrant social life that once surrounded you feels quieter than it used to be. But here is the important truth. Isolation is not an inevitable part of aging. Yet millions of seniors are quietly drifting into social isolation, not because they want to, but because the structures that once connected people have quietly disappeared. The good news is that this process can be reversed. And today, we're going to explore why so many seniors are losing their social circles, and more importantly, how you can rebuild meaningful connections starting today. Let's begin with something many people never notice until it's gone. For decades, most adults live inside a structure that automatically connects them to other people. It's called the workplace. When you are working, you experience something sociologists call forced proximity. It means you are surrounded by the same group of people every day whether you planned it or not. You share coffee breaks. You talk during lunch. You complain about deadlines. You celebrate birthdays. You attend retirement parties. Over time, these daily interactions build familiarity, and familiarity slowly turns into friendship. Even if your coworkers were not your closest friends, they formed a reliable social ecosystem. They were people you saw regularly, people who knew your story, and people who shared the rhythm of your daily life. Then retirement arrives. And almost overnight, that structure disappears. You wake up the next morning and realize something subtle but powerful has changed. The daily interactions that once filled your week are gone. The spontaneous conversations are gone. The sense of belonging to a shared environment is gone. This is why many retirees feel a strange emptiness during the first few years after leaving work. It's not that they suddenly dislike their freedom. It's that the social scaffolding that once supported their lives has quietly collapsed. But the workplace is only one part of the story. Over the past several decades, our communities themselves have changed in ways that make social connection more difficult, especially for seniors. In the past, most towns and neighborhoods had what sociologists call third places. Your home was the first place. Your workplace was the second. And third places were the informal social environments where people naturally gathered. Local diners, barber shops, churches, community centers, neighborhood parks, libraries, bowling leagues, local cafes. These places were not just businesses or buildings. They were social glue. They created spaces where people could show up without an appointment, strike up conversations with familiar faces, and slowly build relationships over time. But modern life has quietly removed many of these spaces. Urban planning shifted toward car-centered living rather than walkable neighborhoods. Local stores were replaced by big-box retailers. Community clubs declined. And many services that once required face-to-face interaction have moved online. Today, groceries are delivered. Banking is digital. Conversations happen through text messages. Even doctor visits sometimes occur through a screen. Convenience has increased, but connection has quietly decreased. And for seniors who grew up in a more community-centered world, this change can feel disorienting. There is another layer to this problem that many people don't anticipate. For most of our lives, we believe that long-standing friendships will remain strong forever. We imagine that the people who were important to us at 40 or 50 will still be close to us at 70 or 80. But life has a way of scattering people across the map. Friends move to different cities to be closer to their children. Some relocate for warmer climates. Others face health challenges that limit travel. Some become absorbed in caregiving responsibilities for spouses or family members. Slowly, without any dramatic conflict or falling out, distance replaces daily interaction. Phone calls become occasional check-ins. Visits become once-a-year events. And the friendship that once felt effortless now requires intentional planning. This realization can be surprisingly painful. Many seniors begin to wonder whether the close-knit community they once enjoyed is gone forever. But here is the powerful shift in perspective that changes everything. Your social life does not have to rely on the past. It can be rebuilt in the present. In fact, one of the most effective strategies emerging today is the creation of what researchers call microcommunities. Microcommunities are small, intentional groups of people who gather regularly around shared interests, routines, or goals. They do not require dozens of participants or elaborate planning. In many cases, a micro-community begins with just 2 or 3 people. Think about the activities that naturally bring people together. Morning walking groups, community gardening, library book clubs, volunteer programs, church gatherings, local exercise classes designed for seniors, even simple weekly coffee meetups. What makes these groups powerful is not the activity itself, it's the consistency. When people meet regularly, something remarkable happens. Strangers slowly become familiar faces. Familiar faces slowly become friends, and friends eventually become the pillars of a new social network. Another key insight is that friendships in later life often grow from shared experiences rather than shared history. When you were younger, many of your friendships were built over decades. You watched each other's children grow up. You shared career milestones. You navigated the same life stages. But in your later years, new friendships often form around the present moment. 2 people who meet in a walking group may not share the same past, but they share the same morning routine. 2 people volunteering at a food bank may not have known each other 10 years ago, but they share a sense of purpose today. And purpose is one of the most powerful forces for connection. When people come together to contribute, learn, or explore something meaningful, relationships form naturally. Technology, which sometimes contributes to isolation, can also become a bridge if used thoughtfully. Many communities now organize events through local social platforms. Libraries post schedules for workshops and classes. Community centers announce senior programs online. For those willing to explore these tools, they can act as doorways back into real-world connections. But the most important step is often the simplest: showing up. Connection rarely happens instantly. It grows through repeated encounters, small conversations, shared laughter, and the quiet familiarity that builds over time. The first meeting might feel awkward. The second might feel slightly easier. By the third or fourth, you begin to recognize names and faces. And before long, the same place that once felt unfamiliar begins to feel like a new community. If you are experiencing a shrinking social circle, remember that this is not a personal failure. It is a reflection of how modern life has changed the structures around us. But the ability to build meaningful relationships never disappears. Humans remain social beings throughout every stage of life. Sometimes all it takes is a small step, a new activity, a new group, or even a simple conversation with someone who shares your interests. The golden years are not meant to be lived in isolation. They are meant to be lived with curiosity, engagement, and connection. So consider this your invitation. Look around your community, explore a local class, visit a community center, join a walking group, volunteer for a cause you care about. You may discover that the friendships waiting for you today can be just as meaningful as the ones you remember from the past. Thank you for spending time with Golden Years Wisdom today. If this message resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who may need a reminder that it's never too late to rebuild connection. And if you enjoy thoughtful conversations about health, independence, and thriving in your later years, be sure to subscribe.